From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of Voltron, defender of the universe. A mighty robot.
Voltron, the legendary robot defender of the universe. For generations, this iconic show has stood the test of time with its incredible transformation sequences, heroic pilots, and a giant robot formed by 5 lions. What if there was more to the story than you know? What if everything you thought you knew about Voltron was actually only a tip of the iceberg? Today we're diving into some of the shocking facts and untold stories that will forever change how you look at Voltron, and trust me, you'll never see the iconic lions the same way again. But before we jump into all the wild details, if you want to relive the classic Voltron moments, make sure you grab the DVD collection in the description below. Now get ready, because the Voltron story is way deeper and darker than you ever imagined. Let's start at the very beginning. Voltron wasn't even created in the United States. That's right. The series adapted from a Japanese animated series called Beast King Go Lion. When Go Lion was being produced, the creators had no intention of turning it into an international hit. They were focused on making a unique, edgy anime about 5 pilots who each controlled a lion robot. But when the show made its way to the US, it was drastically changed to appeal to American audiences. And here's where it gets even crazier. Go Lion was way darker than anything that made it into Voltron. In the original Japanese series, there were intense battles, character deaths, and emotional trauma that would probably be too much for young American viewers. For example, the characters in Go Lion deal with the death of their families, which gives them a deep, tragic backstory. That's something that was completely glossed over in Voltron. They had to reframe these emotional elements, and Voltron became much more about heroism and team spirit than the intense personal stakes presented in Go Lion. Despite all the changes, Voltron took off and became one of the most beloved animated series of the 80s. It dominated children's television and became the #1 children's show in America for 2 straight years, 1984 and 1985. It was an absolute phenomenon that defined a generation of kids, and in the process, cemented its place in animated history. Now let's talk about the lions themselves, the iconic, powerful robots that formed Voltron. These mechanical beasts were an integral part of the show's appeal, but here's something you probably didn't know. According to the Japanese source material, the lions might be semi-living, not just machines. In the original Go Lion series, the lions weren't just metal beasts piloted by humans. They had a level of consciousness. They were semi-sentient and seemed to have their own willpower. They weren't just vehicles to fight evil. They were alive. And though the US version didn't dive too deep into this, it's fascinating to think about the implications.
Hit them from all sides! It's hopeless!
Could the lions have chosen to combine into Voltron to save the universe? Could they have been more than just machines obeying commands? The idea of conscious robots was incredibly unique for its time, and it's a concept that remained largely unexplored until much later in pop culture with shows like Transformers and Power Rangers. When you watch Voltron now, knowing this little nugget of information, it changes how you view the lions. They aren't just vehicles, they're guardians, protectors, with their own minds and spirits. Now let's break down the 5 iconic lions that make up Voltron. First up, we have the Black Lion, the largest and most powerful of the 5. The Black Lion is the heart and soul of Voltron. This lion is more than just a machine, it's the leader. It's the lion that forms Voltron's torso and head, and its connection to the team is paramount. The Black Lion represents the leadership and wisdom needed to unite the other lions, guiding the team through their toughest battles. Piloted by Keith, the Black Lion is the embodiment of strength and responsibility. Keith as a character is headstrong and determined, sometimes to a fault, but his courage and sense of duty make him the perfect fit to pilot the Black Lion. It's the lion that controls Voltron's movements and powers, and its bond with Keith is a key reason why Voltron is able to perform its most powerful attacks. Without the Black Lion, Voltron would be incomplete.
Gotta hurry. Form Voltron. Activate interlocks. Dinotherms connected. Infracells on. Mega thrusters are go.
It's the driving force behind Voltron's success, holding the group together in both combat and leadership. Next, we have the Red Line, piloted by the daring and quick-witted Lance. The Red Line is fast, agile, and ready to charge into action at a moment's notice. It forms Voltron's right arm and plays an essential role in Voltron's offensive power. Lance, ever the charismatic team member, is known for his witty remarks and sometimes cocky attitude. His personality perfectly matches the Red Lion's quick reflexes and fighting style. In battle, the Red Line is all about speed and precision. It's the first to rush in. It's always eager to take down the enemy. Despite his bravado, Lance often has to learn the balance between his impulsive nature and the importance of teamwork, which is what makes his character so compelling.
I'll draw him up to the edge of the cliff. The rest of you get behind. And when the time is right, push!
Together, Lance and the Red Lion bring Voltron agility, making it a fearsome opponent in battle. Red's quick reflexes make it a powerhouse for executing attacks that rely on precision and speed. On the other side, we have the Blue Lion, piloted by the level-headed Hunk. The Blue Lion forms Voltron's left arm, and just like its pilot, it's steady and dependable. Hunk is the rock of the team, bringing stability and strength when the things get tough. While the Red Lion is all about action and speed, the Blue Lion is more about thinking things through and executing moves with precision and care. Hunk, a true problem solver, is often the one to think before acting. His calm demeanor and analytical mind make him an excellent strategist. When the team faces tough decisions or dangerous situations, it's often Hunk's steady hand and clear thinking that guide them through. He's not the most flashy pilot, but without him, Voltron's left arm would be out of sync with the rest of the team.
Oh, wow! I didn't think anybody could make an attack ship that big!
They said they were going to attack my planet. We've got to stop them.
The Blue Lion represents thoughtful strategy and discipline. Hunk's ability to stay calm under pressure and keep the team focused ensures Voltron's success, even when the stakes are high. Next up, we have the Yellow Lion, piloted by Pidge. This lion is all about power and strength. It forms the right leg of Voltron and is an essential part of Voltron's stability and offensive strength. The Yellow Lion doesn't back down from a challenge, and it's the lion that holds its ground in combat, using raw power to defeat enemies. Pidge is the team's builder and tech expert, and while his technical expertise are invaluable, his role as the pilot of Yellow Lion gives him a whole different kind of strength. Now, Pidge may be the smallest member of the team, but the Yellow Lion's raw power suits his drive and determination. It's not just about brute force, though.
Things to do, huh? Sure you got things to do. Like steal people's pets and eat them. You're a looter and you plan to eat that rabbit.
The Yellow Lion represents the strength that comes from teamwork and unity, standing strong in the face of overwhelming odds. The Yellow Lion gives Voltron the physical stability it needs in battle. When Voltron combines, the strength of the Yellow Lion is what keeps Voltron grounded, making it nearly impossible to knock down. Finally, we have the Green Lion, piloted by Shiro. The Green Lion is known for its agility and resourcefulness, making it the perfect complement to other lions. It forms Voltron's left leg and is built for speed and flexibility, able to shift and move with incredible precision in battle. Shiro, known for his calm and collected demeanor, is the perfect pilot for the Green Lion. He's resourceful, able to think on his feet, and quick to adapt to changing situations. His agility and tactical thinking mirror the abilities of the Green Lion, which is all about using speed and flexibility to gain the upper hand. When it's time for Voltron to maneuver in tricky situations, the Green Lion is the one to make those quick turns and sudden movements that turn the tide of the battle. The Green Lion is essential for Voltron's versatility, allowing it to outmaneuver enemies and stay one step ahead. Together, Shiro and the Green Lion keep the team nimble and adaptable in even the most chaotic of battles. When you think about it, each of the 5 lions brings something unique to the table, whether it's leadership, speed, strategy, strength, or agility. What makes Voltron such a formidable force is how these lions work together, each complementing the other in perfect harmony. But it's not just about the lions. The pilots, Keith, Lance, Hunk, Pidge, and Shiro, are what truly make Voltron shine. Together, they embody the values of teamwork, perseverance, and unity. As each pilot hones their unique skills and comes to trust their teammates, they unlock Voltron's true power. It's the cooperation between the pilots and the Lions that makes Voltron a force unlike any other. When the 5 Lions combine, they become Voltron.
And I'll form the head!
A living, breathing defender of the universe. But without each Lion's individual strengths and the pilot's unwavering teamwork, Voltron would never be the hero we know and love today. If you're a fan of Voltron, you know the iconic voices of its characters. But here's something that'll surprise you. Voltron's opening narration was performed by none other than Peter Cullen. Yes, Optimus Prime's voice actor. Cullen brought an immense sense of genuineness to the series, delivering the show's epic opening lines that still echo in fans' memories. But that's not all. Cullen was the only big name behind the scenes. Voltron featured a treasure trove of talented voice actors, including Neil Ross, who voiced Pidge. Neil Ross was a prominent voice actor in Transformers and G.I. Joe, two of the most popular animated series of the 80s. His contribution to Voltron helped make the show feel alive with personality. However, what's fascinating is that most of the voice actors didn't get the credit they deserved. The voice recording process was often rushed. Time constraints, a tight schedule, and constant deadline pressures meant that the actors didn't always get proper direction, which led to some inconsistencies. In a show like Voltron, where emotional weight plays a huge role in connecting with its audience, these rushed recordings left some characters feeling one-dimensional at times. Alright, now let's talk about the final 20 episodes of Voltron. These episodes were the only ones that were created entirely by an American team, and they mark a huge departure from the original Japanese show. While the first 2 seasons were deeply rooted in the Go Lion source material, these final episodes felt completely out of place, leaving a lot of fans scratching their heads. So why did this happen?
Form Blazing Sword!
The American creators were tasked with wrapping up the show and decided to take some creative liberties that would make Voltron feel fresh for its audience. But what actually happened was the opposite. These final episodes saw the show veer off course. Characters started to act in ways that felt inconsistent with their personalities, and the plot lines grew increasingly convoluted. The show, once a brilliant mixture of action and character-driven drama, became a confusing mess in these later episodes. Tons of fans were disappointed, and to this day, the final 20 episodes are considered a major misstep in the Voltron legacy. It was rushed, lacking the emotional depth that made the earlier episodes so memorable. Alright, now here's a mind-blogging twist. Voltron wasn't even supposed to be based on Beast King Go Lion at all. Nope. Voltron was initially meant to be adapted from a completely different Japanese series, Armored Fleet Derriger 15. But what happened next is wild. The wrong tape was sent to the American producers. Instead of receiving Derriger, they got Go Lion, and the rest is history. Voltron became a massive hit. But can you imagine the alternate reality where Voltron was based on Derriger instead? These two shows had completely different vibes. Derriger was more of a military robot show with less character development, while Go Lion had a darker, more intense storyline. The mistake that led to Voltron being created as we know it today shows how an accident can sometimes lead to something unexpected and extraordinary.
The Voltron force is a team. Like a chain, it is only as strong as its weakest link.
Voltron became one of the defining shows of the 80s, and it all started with the wrong tape being delivered. Can you talk about Voltron without mentioning the toys? The toy line became one of the most successful merchandise franchises of the 1980s. The combination of Voltron's giant robot lines and the ability to combine them into one massive figure made it a dream come true for kids. But did you know that the Voltron toys almost didn't even happen? At first, toy companies were skeptical. The toy industry in the 1980s was flooded with action figures, and Voltron was just another property. But when the toys hit the shelves, they became an instant sensation. The Lions were so popular that they even inspired other giant robot toy lines like Power Rangers and Transformers. In fact, the Voltron toy line was a huge part of why these series stayed relevant.
1 invincible robot warrior, 5 mighty lions, a heroic pack with a motorized race and fire attack, legendary lions of fight with the power to unite. Voltron.
It kept the franchise alive long after the series had wrapped up. Kids kept asking for more, and that demand kept the show in the spotlight even years later. The toys weren't just plastic figures, they were an essential part of Voltron's cultural impact, making it one of the most successful animated series of its time. And let's not forget the legacy that Voltron left behind. The show's success and influence can still be felt today. From its massive fan base to its continued presence in pop culture, Voltron has made a permanent mark. It paved the way for shows like Power Rangers and Transformers, and its concept of team-based robots formed a blueprint for countless animated series to come. Even the modern-day robot Voltron, Legendary Defender on Netflix, brought the beloved series back into the spotlight for a whole new generation. The reboot was praised for staying true to the core elements of the original show while updating it for a new audience. It was a massive hit that introduced Voltron to a new generation of fans, providing that this legendary robot and his lion team still had staying power. But it's not just the fans of the show that Voltron impacted, it's the creators of today. The success of Voltron influenced the whole generation of animators, writers, and show creators who grew up watching the original and then set out to create their own animated epics. Its impact on pop culture and animation is undeniable.
Have you destroyed Voltron?
Very soon, sire.
You seem more interested in the princess.
I can't blame you. She would be quite a prize.
So there you have it. Voltron like you've never seen it before. From its dark Japanese origins to its massive success in America, from the voice actors who brought the characters to life to the wild twists and turns behind the scenes. Voltron was far more than just a giant robot show. It was a cultural phenomenon that changed the landscape of animated television forever. And don't forget, if you want to relive the magic of Voltron, make sure to grab the DVD in the description below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your favorite Voltron moment. Until next time, keep your lions in formation and stay legendary. See you next time.